What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Saturday, January 2nd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Elfrid Payton from the New York Knicks playing the Indiana Pacers, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing point guards. But Elfrid Payton has averaged 22.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 26 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 25, 29, and 41 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 23, 35, and 29 minutes. And he's had a 27, 25, and 29% usage rate in those games. So he's projected at 26.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's 5,000 FanDuel salary and 1,100 more on DraftKings. So I love that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 213.5 points scored in this game. So I like Elfrid Payton here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Reggie Bullock from the New York Knicks playing the Indiana Pacers, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Reggie Bullock has averaged 18.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 30 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. He scored 22, 28, and 11 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 38, 40, and 16 minutes. He's projected at 19.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's only 3,600 FanDuel salary and 800 more on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 213.5 points scored in this game, so I like Reggie Bullock here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? Another value play for you. I like DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Falcons playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and although they've been pretty good versus opposing small forwards, DeAndre Hunter has averaged 26.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. He scored 32, 28, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 31, 33, and 32 minutes. He's projected at 22.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's 4,600 FanDuel salary and 700 more on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 233 points scored in this game, so a super high scoring game, plenty of fantasy points to go around. So I like DeAndre Hunter here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they're middle-of-the-pack defending opposing power forwards. John Collins has averaged 33.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 25 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He scored 36, 46, and 25 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 25, 30, and 26 minutes. But he's had a 24, 29, and 20% usage rate in those games, and he's projected at 38.9 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.6 times value. He's 7,000 FanDuel salary and 500 more on DraftKings. Then we know Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 233 points scored in this game. So you can stack this game. So I like John Collins here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I think this is a smash play here, guys. I like Clint Capella from the Atlanta Hawks playing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I know I've given you 3 Atlanta Hawk players, but I really do think you can play 2 or 3 of these players in the same lineup on a small slate in a high-scoring game. It's a great game to stack. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have a middle-of-the-pack defense, and they've been pretty good versus opposing centers, but Clint Capella has averaged 27.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 23 minutes per game with a 16% usage rate. But remember, guys, he came back from injury. He only played 19 minutes in his first couple of games, but he played 29 minutes last game, so that's a signal that they've bumped up his minutes. He should get plenty of run here tonight. He scored 33 fantasy points last game in 29 minutes with an 18% usage rate. He's projected at 35.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.8 times value. He's only 6,100 FanDuel salary, and he's 900 less on DraftKings. So I love that DraftKings price. We know Vegas thinks there's going to be 233 points scored in this game, so I like Clint Capella here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.